Hi everyone. I'm so honored to be here this evening to share with you all my entrepreneurial journey. I think everyone's path to entrepreneurship is unique, but as fellow entrepreneurs in the room, we all have some key things that's a part of that process. First and foremost, the aha moment you have when you realize how I can monetize a talent or a skill or a product. And my aha moment for starting my youth financial literacy company came in a very unexpected place and actually a training class. I'm a CPA and I was in this class and I'm like, this guy's probably making money, tons of money, just teaching the same thing, traveling around the country. And in that moment when I said it must be nice, I realized that okay, I need to check myself and not be a hater. But as I was saying that to myself, honestly, I realized that I had my aha moment of why am I not using my talent or skill monetizing it? So people think CPA, you can do a million things with that. You absolutely can. But that really wasn't something I wanted to do. I was doing that in my 9 to 5. And in that moment, in that training for an hour and a half, I wrote out my loose business plan for my youth financial literacy company. I realized that I have a skill and talent of teaching youth and also a passion for personal finance and teaching people about money. So I put those two together. So in the training, I literally wrote out my loose business plan, an hour and a half, immediately called my mom after I had this thought to tell her about it and asked for her boss's contact information because my mom works at an after school program. And I'm like, I'm going to test this out and see if this can stick. I pitched it to her. She agreed, and I tested out this curriculum and this idea across a few different schools, just myself, one woman show. And my first beta client, if you will, became my paid client. So going from that aha moment to having a paid client as an entrepreneur, you just feel like unstoppable on top of the world. So even though everyone's path is different, we have those common things. And one of the things that you probably didn't realize, I didn't say a business name yet. I didn't say anything about marketing yet because I literally didn't follow that path. I was on a personal journey of paying off $80,000 of debt. So I didn't really have the money to put into what you would do to formally make a business. But I had a track record. I had a client. And in that time when I was doing the beta testing, I made sure to take pictures and get testimonials and really tweak what worked and what didn't work in my business. So when I formally did the business, and I'm like, okay, do the business stuff, file with LLC. You don't really have to do that, but that's something I did. Once I figured out the name, which is Financial Garden, I went through the process of trademarking it and formally making a website. Very grassroots. As an entrepreneur, you wear many hats. I was definitely a one-woman show, doing it all myself. But as I talk to entrepreneurs, we all have that aha moment, that moment you realize you got a paid client. And then whether you formalize the business before or after those steps, that's something that we all go through as entrepreneurs. And am I forming everything correctly? So after formalizing my business and making a brand, if you will, of how to market this to get out of the word of mouth clients and how do I get more schools and different things like that, I would say my focus was, I forgot this part, was financial literacy for youth, but also specifically in low income areas. So I knew my client when I was in that class writing out my loose business plan, my clients were going to be schools and organizations. I wasn't going to be marketing business to person. It was more B2B. And I knew what these organizations would expect to probably bring me on. So when I formalized my business to get more clients, I went to expos and really put myself out there and constantly pitching. Something I'm uncomfortable with at the time because I'm not the most extroverted person. But that's how I had my business grow. Then I got to the moment of overwhelm of, oh my God, I'm literally doing everything. I'm accounting, I'm marketing, I'm in the business, I'm the receptionist. And I got to this point of, I was in 5 schools at one time, still working my 9 to 5. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. What can I do? So luckily, I was able to call on my friend Dorethia, who does business coaching. She took me on as a client to help me overcome that roadblock of how do I move forward. In my 9 to 5, I know how to write job descriptions. I interview people. I know business process and writing standard work instructions and stuff like that. But when it's your business and talking about your values and your vision, you get scared on bringing people in. And that's something that I faced. So Dorethia was like, I know you know logically and fundamentally how to do this, but it was just working with her to realize what I felt comfortable delegating. So I went from not delegating anything to actually hiring on facilitators to carry out the curriculum so I could grow my business. So it's definitely been a long journey in entrepreneurship for me, but I wanted to make sure that I stayed true to my values. And there's been points with trying to grow different revenue streams that I lost sight of my original value, which is providing financial education to students in low-income areas. And not intentionally, but you have other revenue stream ideas and you're hiring people for this, and I lost sight of what I originally started for. So again, coaching with Dorethia, helping me to get back on track was key to me. So when I heard about where we're asked to come do Plutus and my voices and my values, I truly understood that, because no matter what your business is, if it's a podcast or if it's not even personal finance, but it's just something in the blogging space, I know you're going to go from that aha moment to the paid client to formalizing your business to that point of overwhelm. And if you haven't got to the overwhelm part, you will as you're growing, and you may feel like, okay, how do I trust someone to carry on my vision and hold true to my values? Because I wanted Financial Garden to be executed in a perfect way, and not hold any biases, especially going into the neighborhoods that I wanted to pinpoint. So that was something really hard for me to overcome. But as you are in your entrepreneurship journey, just remember to not lose sight of what your core value was. And that's my entrepreneurial journey.